Baron von Yolo. Here's the deal. First, you are going to fetch me a scotch, and then I am going to dance. Dance floors are our speciality.
Your friend's wasted, Anakin.
Yo! Check this out!
How's it going, everybody? So today is the 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith. So that's why I opened with that. What's up, Leia? What's up, Stop Motion Guy? What's up, Absolute? So yeah, before we get talking about the Hasbro news and all that good stuff, first of all, I need to get situated because I don't even have that up on my screen yet. We'll talk about Revenge of the Sith and how I was supposed to go see the movie and I completely forgot about it because it is in theaters today for the 20th anniversary. It's actually a dress. I for once am wearing a dress, Leia, so thank you. I'm watching an episode of Red Dwarf that I'm gonna watch in A Violent Nature. Red Dwarf, I remember that show. I haven't heard about it in a long time. Going to see Revenge of the Sith for the first time on the big screen tomorrow night. Oh, that's good. I guess it's running from now until the end of the month, hopefully. I don't know. What's up, A Collection? And I guess not. I guess I was wrong. So I guess I do still have a chance to go see Revenge of the Sith again because I only saw it in theaters once in 2005. So it would be really cool to go and see Revenge of the Sith again, I believe. Hold on one second. I want to... By the way, there is a super chat goal. Just something I saw. I thought I'd put it up there. Feel no obligation. You can ignore it if you'd like. But yeah, let's talk about the big news first and how I feel about it and how y'all feel about it in the chat. So let me do this. Present, share screen. Screen one. You know, I always have to talk through what I'm doing. All right. So the big news today is that Hasbro and Disney have extended their Marvel and Star Wars deal for another 5 years. And first, we will have my take because, as you all know, there is not, in my opinion, there was not even a chance that Hasbro would A, let themselves be outbid for the license, or B, just lose it outright. There's no way because as much as a license costs Hasbro, what they're paying for is the rights to make all of these toys. And I know you get the imports and you get the other ones and all that stuff, like movies and stuff, but I'm talking about kids' toys. I'm talking about adult collector toys. I'm talking about the big Titan sized figures, all that stuff, you know, role play accessories, Nerf guns branded with that kind of stuff. That is all the kind of shit they would be missing out on if they decided to part ways with Disney. Not only that, where my Marvel collection stands, as it is with Marvel Legends, is Hasbro a perfect company? No, they're not. They make a lot of mistakes. But when they hit really good with Marvel Legends, they're really good. And just like when you have a really bad Marvel Legend, you have a really bad Marvel Legend. But I would say overall, having existed for 20 years, you know, starting with Toy Biz and going off to Hasbro, another thing that's existed for 20 years is Marvel Legends on top of Revenge of the Sith, right? Is that maybe 21 years now because they just had the 20th anniversary wave last year. So, you know, it's kind of a staple for Hasbro to have A, the Marvel license and B, the Star Wars license. Because if you don't know, when the movies came out, the original Star Wars movies, Kenner was the one that was making Star Wars toys. And Kenner was eventually bought out by Hasbro. So Hasbro just kind of scooped that up. And, you know, they still do Kenner branded stuff, like the retro cards in Star Wars say Kenner on them and all that stuff. And that's because, you know, Hasbro bought Kenner. And then when it comes to Toy Biz and Marvel Legends, so if you don't know, at one point in time, Marvel itself owned Toy Biz. Like I believe in 2001, 2002, when they were doing the Lord of the Rings stuff, that was co-branded Marvel / Toy Biz. So, Marvel had stakes in Toy Biz. They were making their own toys. And then Hasbro acquired Toy Biz, which gave them the Marvel Legends license, which is why we A, have Marvel Legends today, and B, why it's in the 6.5 inch scale to this day. So for people to expect, and I don't want to be mean here, because of course McFarlane did just lose their license. But for people to expect that Hasbro was going to pass up on the license if it was their, choice is crazy. And to think that Disney would walk away from the partnership that they've had with Hasbro, where I'm pretty sure like Disney gets a bunch of licensing fees, but they also get likeness fees, all this kind of stuff. So there's a whole bunch of money that Disney would be walking away from. They would have to work out a new deal. I'm sure there's new numbers involved and all this kind of stuff, but they would have to go to a new toy company, work out all this stuff, say you have to do this plugin for this show, this for that, yada, yada, yada. These are what you need to make and all that kind of stuff. And it's been a cohesive relationship for the last however many years that Disney has owned Marvel and Star Wars. So like want to say since like 2012 and 2014. Because Disney themselves, and here's another thing. and this isn't a point that people that call Marvel collectors shills like to say, oh, you're a shill for saying that. But the thing about Hasbro and what they're allowed to do, it's not up to them what they can make, what they can show us, what figures they're allowed to make. They have to ask Disney, Big Papa Disney. They have to come up to them with their 6-figure wave and say, hey, this is what we want to do. Are you going to allow us to do this, or are you going to change it? And most of the time, Disney's going to say, well, you can't do this because we're going to bring this character out so-and-so. So we don't want to jump the gun on that. You can't do this because the character is supposed to look like this, blah, 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 in this way in the comic or something. So there's a lot of limitations that not just Hasbro, any toy company that has a license for a long-standing like toy line where they're constantly producing something, there's just a lot of stuff that they have to deal with when it comes to the person that owns the license. So for anyone that expected Marvel Legends to disappear from Hasbro, or Hasbro to walk away from toys and just be like, yeah, we're not going to make toys anymore, I'm sorry, but that is just dumb. That is dumb. They never said they were going to stop making toys. They said they were going to focus a lot of stuff elsewhere, and that's very true. But when it comes to stuff like this, Marvel Legends and Star Wars, Marvel and Star Wars, this is their breadwinner right here. These like, I know they have G.I. Joe and Transformers, but Marvel and Star Wars sales allow them to put a bunch of money into G.I. Joe and Transformers. And is it good that it works that way? No. It sucks. I don't like Hasbro as a company. I think that a lot of what they do is not great. But to blame like the Marvel Legends team or the Star Wars Black Series team for problems when it comes to characters or selection and all that kind of stuff, that's not their fault. Now you can look at them when it comes to QC, paint, breaking stuff, all that kind of stuff, and blame Hasbro. But when it comes to like licensing and what they're allowed to put out, that is not their fault. All right, let me get back to the comments here for a second. Oh, just the Hasbro Marvel Legends deal is the big news today. I hope they got a better licensing deal after all the substandard Star Wars content has been released in the last few years. And I somewhat agree with what you're saying. Like, there's a lot of stuff where it's like they're just flooding the market with more Star Wars, more Marvel. But for me, Star Wars is like, I'd rather have more of it than less than it. Not so much with figures. I don't think we needed figures for the Acolyte. Sorry, I'm a little congested, like always. I don't think we needed figures for Andor. We don't need figures for everything coming out. Leave that kind of shit for the hot toys. Definitely make, main movies. Make stuff that people are asking for, like Rex. We needed Captain Rex. We needed a re-release of Captain Rex. Thank you. I appreciate it. I like to retain useless knowledge that is useful at some point. Um, and yeah, I did see a lot of Star Wars there last year, but I also saw a lot of Marvel. I didn't see any McFarlane. Apparently, they go to Ross. Thank you. Like I said, I try to keep this knowledge. And yeah, no. I'm surprised that Marvel or Disney even let him make his statues of Marvel characters, considering just how badly he's been doing. Like, he's been losing shit left and right. And that Mortal Kombat reveals that he just showed, what a joke. What a joke. So I think McFarlane Toys had this really like weird vortex of getting a lot of licenses and getting a lot of shit out there, but it was all substandard garbage. And now people are going to kind of look at McFarlane when he comes to them for a deal and maybe just walk the other way. I feel like that's what's going to happen. I feel like McFarlane is going to be a lot of Spawn and a lot of like redos of his older shit, which is fine. If you want to make your pose statues, pose figures, whatever the fuck you call them, Todd, do that. But don't taint DC or Marvel or whatever else with your favorite bullshit that you like, you know? It's just like, make shit for the fans and maybe you won't lose the license. What's up, Katie's Toys? The lean is dead. We already did that. Andor, great show, not toyetic. Exactly what I'm saying. It does not merit toys. You don't have, and I know, so here's another thing about McFarlane and Marvel Legends. I hold to the fact that McFarlane DC Multiverse figures are made for children. They're made for kids. They're made for a fucking kid to look at and be like, oh, I want that. Now, you go to see a Marvel Legends wave. Yeah, you've got Iron Man and Spider-Man, and that's for kids and stuff. But then you see, like, the eyeball guy, whatever his name is, you know, Ghost Rider's, one of his nemesis. And you see all these, like, oddball characters, like Jacques the Leaper or whatever. You know, so you get all these, and you do get those with McFarlane, but they're all gold labels or platinums or search figures or some other fucking bullshit. And those are all $30+ and those are the ones who he's marketing at adults, because the Supergirl or whatever, the Power Girl and the Wonder Woman, they sold out like hotcakes, and they're all gold label shit. And that's because they have the face plates, they have the extra accessories, they have all this stuff. They still have fucking diapers, they still have loose joints, they're still pieces of shit. But he's marketing those ones towards adults. Marvel Legends as a whole, the whole line can be like made for adults and can exclude children. But McFarlane Toys would not be doing as well as they were if it wasn't for kids getting a Batman toy every month. So, sorry, I went on a rant there, but let me see if I can read this. It's I should have my glasses. I should be wearing my glasses. All right. So I'm in a reading mode here. So, Hasbro extends long-running strategic relationship with Disney Consumer Products for premier Star Wars and Marvel franchises. A leading games IP and toy company today announced a multi-year extension to its long-running relationship with Disney Consumer Products to continue creating innovative toys and games for premier brands, Star Wars and Marvel. This extension furthers Hasbro's strategic merchandising relationship with Disney Consumer Products, allowing Hasbro to continue developing and manufacturing toys, collectibles, and board games based on new classic and Marvel Star Wars entertainment. So it's just extending their pre-existing deal so that they continue to do what they're doing. And I'm going to stop every once in a while so we can take a minute to, I don't want to sit here and read a wall of fucking text and make a talk. And where are we at? I saw McFarlane Black Adam at all these ones. I still haven't seen that movie. I still haven't seen The Flash. I still haven't seen Aquaman 2. All those DC movies, I just fucking skipped. I need to Return of the Jedi Mon Mothma, damn it. Yeah, they don't even have a single Black series. No, they made Andor Mon Mothma, didn't they? Or not Andor, Ahsoka. Right? I don't know. I don't remember. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so that's what they're saying. They're just extending their license, and you know, they can continue to make collector's figures like Black Series, like Marvel Legends, and B, they said board games and new in class board games, toys, collectibles. Now, collectibles are adult things. Toys, that's like that Jedi training shit for kids, and then you know they have those 3.75 new Star Wars figures that are 5-inch figures that are like kind of less articulated and stuff. Those are the kids' toys they're talking about. And that's where Hasbro's money is. Because if a parent is going to take their kid to see a new Star Wars movie and they're seeing a Mandalorian that's 5 inches for their like 6-year-old, or a Mandalorian that's 6 inches, $25.99, the 5-inch one is like $15, $10. What are they going to grab for their kid to go see the movie with? That cheaper one. And that's Hasbro doesn't give a shit. That's fine. That's what those don't get the detail the collectors ones do. They get less paint, they cost less, all that kind of stuff. And that's where Hasbro is making their money on stuff like that. Yes, Black Series is a big corner of their market. Adult collectors are a big corner of their market, but that's all directly marketed to us. The vintage collection in the Black Series for adults in Star Wars. What is up, CJ? Welcome. I'm running behind on the comments here. Let me stop for a second. So, to think that Hasbro would walk away from that just because they overproduced toys for the last couple years is kind of asinine. Now, if they were forced to walk away like McFarlane was, and actually I think he may have gotten outbid, and he just was like, well, I can't afford that because everyone's walking away from my Polish figures. So, so am I. We know this. And that's the thing. I still have my Batman Beyond Terry McGinnis, and that's it. And I have my Kickstarter still on. And then I have a couple of old Game of Thrones McFarlanes, and then I have the Doomslayer McFarlane. And those are fine. Doomslayer doesn't have a fucking diaper. John and Arya don't have a diaper. Spawn doesn't have a diaper. Actually, I think the Kickstarter Spawn may have a diaper. But, I don't know. I think the Star Wars Jedi Adventures toys did well because they were for kids. Exactly. Parents are going to buy that shit, especially at Ollie's. They're going to scoop that stuff up. Now, here's another thing. People are like, oh, did you see how much Marvel and Star Wars stuff it is Ollie's? I'm sure Hasbro's hurting right now. No, Hasbro doesn't give a shit. So this is how distribution works. All right, so you've got your production. You've got your production, the person that makes the toys. That's Hasbro. So when you talk to Hasbro as someone who's going to sell toys like A, Target, or B, Big Bad Toy Store, or C, Entertainment Earth, you are making a contract with them to pay a price, a bulk price for a certain amount of figures. And once you pay Hasbro that, and you get your figures, that deal is done. So retailers like Target, Walmart, all that stuff, they overbought figures. And Hasbro overproduced to meet that demand. And you know why they overproduced? Because during 2020, when COVID, when I and many other people really started collecting hardcore, there was a big boom in the collector's market. So Hasbro was like, all right, we're going to ramp our production. But you know what? By the time that production hit, it was 3 years too late. COVID was over. All these restrictions lifted. So that meant the retailers were left with the bulk of this shit. Now, what I'm telling you now is, if you go to Ollie's in a year, maybe not the rest of this year, but like in a year or two, you are going to see way less. You'll still see some, but you're going to see way less Marvel Legends and Black Series. A, because Ollie's can't move them for shit. There's still Eternals clogging up everyone's Ollie's, I'm sure. And B, the overproduction will not be as bad. Things will sell out more. You will miss the first wave and you will have to wait for a reissue, or you will have to pay way more. And that's just how it's going to be. Because if you don't know, Hasbro shares were down. I think Mattel's went up. A bunch of toy companies were down last year, and that's because of overproduction. I would say that being a toy collector and watching the economy as a toy collector, you will probably know more about the economy than a so-called economist in today's world. I don't know. There's just a lot of shit that you can pay attention to and be like, oh, I know where things are going. One problem is that we're just seeing a glut of content. It's like that Homer in hell being force-fed donut scene from The Simpsons. And yeah, there was definitely an oversaturation to an extent. And what's up, Fallout fan? Hello. How's it going, Jeff? Welcome to the party. All right, let me read this next part and we'll ingest that. Under the extended agreement, Hasbro will continue to develop a wide range of products for families and fans of all ages based on the iconic brands. This includes bringing characters from the Star Wars galaxy to life in action figures formed through the highly popular line, the Black Series and Vintage Collection, as well as engaging new generations of fans with lightsaber toys and other kids in preschool toys themed around characters from Darth Vader to The Mandalorian. Hasbro has established a tremendous fan base for its Marvel Legends action figure series, which showcases fan favorite characters from the Marvel Universe, Spider-Man and Black Panther, while also creating fun and engaging products for preschoolers, kids, and beyond. That's where they make their money, I'm telling you right now. Where was I at? Inspired by hit Disney Junior animated series Marvel's Spidey and His Amazing Friends and the upcoming Marvel's Iron Man and His Awesome Friends. In addition to continuing its toys and games developments with Disney, Hasbro also maintains its separate licensing arrangement with Disney that brings iconic Marvel characters into Magic the Gathering trading card game, further underscoring the continued growth of their strategic relationship. See, this is what I'm telling you. Hasbro would never walk away willingly from the Marvel license because they rely on it. Spider-Man or Spidey and His Amazing Friends is a very popular kids show. So when a kid is 2 to 7 or 2 to 5, whatever, I don't know. I don't have kids. I don't know what the age range is for that shit. They're watching that show and they want the toys. And then when they get a little bigger, they want the Titan Big Figs. So they'll get those, and those are also Hasbro. And then when they're 13, 14, if they don't completely skip out on toys, they'll want the Marvel Legends. And, kids do play with their tablets. They are on, playing Fortnite, Fork Knife, and all that other stuff all the time. But there are still kids that play with toys because parents or adults like us that have nieces or nephews or whatever share our passion for toys, and we share that collecting bug with them. And then, that's where that child's market comes from. Kids want toys, like not forever, but there's a very certain point in time where a kid wants to play with stuff. And that is where Hasbro is going. That is what their focus has always been on. I appreciate observations and insights like this a lot, not subject often on my mind. Yeah, I don't always talk the ins and outs of the toy industry because I don't feel like everyone's always interested in that. But like when it comes to something like this that affects my collecting habits, which it's not to say everyone's collecting habits aren't affected already with all the fucking nonsensical bullshit happening right now, but we're not talking about today. But like I do have some knowledge because I pay attention, I read stuff, I watch, and I've talked to people that know shit. So let me see where we are in the chat. I really need my glasses. I'm super happy to add Dash Rendar to my Star Wars shelf. But does anyone beyond Gen X old guy like me know about Shadows of the Empire? I mean, I know Shadows of the Empire. I grew up, was born in 1990, and that was like, what, 94, 95? So I remember seeing the book in stores. I remember seeing the Power of the Force, Shadow of the Empire stuff. Sorry, I keep burping because I'm drinking soda. What's up, Denzens? Welcome to the stream. All right. And here's the other thing. Okay, so if you don't know, I play Magic the Gathering. And Hasbro has been bringing other license and products into Magic the Gathering for the last, I want to say, the last 5-6 years. I think the first thing that they did it with, and I could be wrong, I think the first thing they did it with was Lord of the Rings. And then they did like Street Fighter and Transformers and all that stuff. So those are licensing agreements in of themselves. But then they're not Transformers because Transformers is theirs. I don't know if they've done G.I. Joe yet. That would be just fucking stupid. I already hate that stuff enough as it is. But they're also introducing a Spider-Man set this year. And me being me with the shit behind me and me being a Spider-Man fan, I am going to get at least 2 Spider-Man decks, and I pre-ordered one of the promo shit just because I want to know how it works. It's also going to be legal in Magic. So that's another thing. If Hasbro can release a set based on a Marvel brand every year, like they do an Avengers set, they do something like that, why would they walk away from that? Because Magic is a money printer. Some of the shit that goes up for sale for Magic immediately sells out and goes up on eBay for double, triple the price. So Hasbro's not making that third-party money, but they're making all those pre-order sales and selling out. And they also have a printing facility in the US. So it can avoid tariffs and all that shit. So even if they have to ship toys, they can make a loss when it comes to some of this shit because they're printing their Magic cards right here in the US. So it's just, it's just one of those things. We'll get back to the article here in a second. Can't wait for Dash Rendar. I pre-ordered him, but we'll see if I get him. My kiddo, 21 years, has a pretty powerful nostalgia for toys too. I even let him raid my collection sometimes. Oh, I would never. I would never. I mean, I don't have kids, so I can't attest to the fact that if my kid walked up to me and said, "Mom, can I play with your toys?" I don't know. If my cat did, I'd be like, "No, you're a cat." But it's an honor to be able to deepen our relationship with Disney consumer products to create even more magical play experience for consumers across the globe, said Tim Kilpin, Hasbro's president, toys, boards, licensing, entertainment. What the fuck was that? Something just fell. Can y'all still hear me? I'll have to check what that was. We look forward to continue. Wait, where was I? Giving us. That was really weird. That was scary. I don't know what the fuck just fell. Give me 1 second. Out of nowhere. How did shit just fall? There's either a ghost in here or. Okay. I don't know what the fuck that was. So there's a crock pot that's broken my girlfriend was trying to fix, and it all of a sudden tumbled from wherever it was sitting. So that's what that sound was. Where was I? An unlimited Star Wars and Marvel provide an extensive array of captivating content that gives us an unlimited trove of fresh ideas to create. From our collaborations span more than half a century, we had to look forward to strengthening our relationship by bringing consumers everywhere brand new play experiences tied to the exciting universe and character of Star Wars and Marvel. So yeah, it's just reiterating the fact that Hasbro is going to hold on to that license until someone pries it out of their cold dead fingers. So y'all formulate your opinions in the comments. Let me know what you think. I'm going to go to Big Ben Toy Store and show you what I pre-ordered today. By the way, channel members, there is a Dakin video for members only up. There is a members only blooper video up. So if you're a channel member, 99 cents. That's 2 things you can see that no one else can see. And then you could also watch the replay of the Maximum Spider-Man giveaway that I did last week. I haven't figured out what to do my Rowdy rant on yet this week, but I will do one before Sunday. And that will be for members only as well. And that is where I will be just either A, really angry, or B, just being goofy and cussing about something and just being a general nuisance and complaining or whatever. You know, what really grinds my gears, Lois. That was a terrible Peter Griffin. But today, all right, hold on. Let me check. Yeah, let me know, y'all in the chat. Let me know what you think about Hasbro keeping the license. Let me know if you were expecting someone else to have it, if you wanted someone else to get it. Like, just let me know. I don't remember from walkthroughs. Are your Star Wars figures vintage size or Black Series? OG Kenner. Okay, Gatie's Toys. I didn't know you had some Kenner Star Wars stuff. I'll have to check that out. Thank you. I don't really know how to braid. These are just rope braids, so that means I just kind of twisted 2 together. But I figured because that figure I made of myself has braids, I need to braid my hair more. So I need to figure out how to do French braids. I really wish I knew how to do that. I would fucking do French braids every goddamn day if I knew how. No, I wouldn't. I would hate that. Yeah, I didn't really talk about that. Did I? Like, why? So for me, much like Power Rangers, Hasbro gave the line away to Playmates. So my Power Rangers collection is done. It's finished. I don't give a fuck what Playmates is doing because it's not in right scale. It doesn't look right. It's not going to match with Lightning Collection. They're not going to do the same teams. So if Hasbro did, say 5-10 years from now, skip out on the license for whatever reason, I would say that I'm probably done with Marvel collecting unless it's like an SH Figure Arts or a Mafex here or there, because the breadth of what I have is all Marvel Legends. There is nothing on that shelf that's in my studio room that's behind me, which is the picture, But there's nothing in there on that shelf that's not Marvel Legends. And I used to swap out a couple things, but the way my brain works, I like all this stuff to be together. All my Mezcos together, all my SH figure arts and Mofex are down next to each other. All my anime SH figure arts are next to each other. Marvel vs. Combat, Marvel vs. Combat, I can't talk. Marvel vs. Capcom stuff. I talk too fast and I get twisted up. It's all together. So Ninja Turtles NECA, not even just Ninja Turtles NECA. All my Ninja Turtle stuff is all together. So it would definitely be interesting, Jeff, and I would get like one or two. Like I would get a Spider-Man or whatever, but for me, I would not invest that much into it. And I wouldn't sell my collection to fund that because I have so many niche characters that no one else would ever get to. It's just like, even if Jada got the license, they would never ever get to the types of characters that we have in Marvel Legends these days. Yeah, we have an Iron Man or a Wolverine or a Spider-Man every other release, every other wave, but we still get like characters. We get like Maggot, we get Marrow, we get Darwin, and these are just like off the top of my head ones that you never thought would have gotten a figure. Squirrel Girl, we got a Squirrel Girl figure, and I know she's popular now from Rivals, but before Rivals, would there ever have been a chance that if someone else got the Marvel Legends license, they would make a fucking Squirrel Girl? I don't think so. That being said, we do need a new Squirrel Girl. What's up, Rick Something? How is it going? Welcome to the live stream. I don't know how I feel about it. On one hand, I love Marvel Legends, but on the other hand, I hate how the price keeps going up. And I hate to say it, Fallout fan, but even if it was someone else that was grabbing the license and the prices were going up, they would still go up regardless. It's not just Hasbro. But that being said, thank you for the segue because I did pre-order something today. Mama She-Hulk, and she is actually listed at $25.99. So I really don't know what all that Bazongo stuff was with at the beginning of this shit with Big Bad Toy Store upping their prices because they dropped them back down and now they say excludes tariff surcharge. And the more I look at this, unfortunately, I know that the green, like, look at that. That's so, it's perfect. But the green does not match the retro card. And I know this because the retro card is very neon, very bright green. What's up, Max? Sorry I left before your stream was done, but I was literally eating food and then I was like, oh shit, I gotta start my stream. So I ran off and got in here, started it up. And for me, like, when I get the She-Hulk, because that ponytail hair with the head sculpt, which is what I really want, is not going to match the other. I'm 95% certain it's not going to match the retro card She-Hulk in the purple. What am I going to do with the Fantastic Four She-Hulk? Because she's not going to replace that She-Hulk on that shelf. I was just going to have her and, you know, use her for photography, and I have Fantastic Four in those suits. But if the greens don't match and I can't use the other head for the other gen, then I can't have both on my shelf. So it's like, I want her. I'm going to get her because She-Hulk is my third favorite Marvel character. And I love muscle mommies. I can't help it. It's just how I am. So muscle mommy She-Hulk in her Fantastic Four outfit, I definitely want that. And, well, they made a Savage She-Hulk. And then they made a gray She-Hulk, and then they repainted it green, and that was kind of like a savage She-Hulk. Hello again, Max. Hello. Where am I at the chat? Tiniest nitpick, but I wish they gave her a belt instead of painting it on. Them abs burst through. You know what? As someone who sometimes has abs that just burst through, it happens. I'm just kidding. I've never had my abs that tight, but I don't mind it. Like I said, muscle mommies for me. The more the merrier, please. And people like to say that McFarlane does the same thing, but McFarlane is making like that Bug Guy or like Guy Gardner with a terrible fade. He is not going that deep into the DC line, and that's because he has to make 15 Batmans every line, or he'll not meet his own quota that he put for himself, you know. Not to mention stuff like HasLab, Galactus, and Giant Man. Yeah, I haven't even thought about that stuff because I don't have HasLabs. But the dynamic of Marvel collecting would be gone when it comes to big stuff unless you had the old stuff. Well, I don't want to spoil because it's not going to be a member video. I think it's a newer figure anyway, but because I don't primarily do wrestling, I just got the WWE Elite Rhea Ripley because after WrestleMania, I was like, I don't care anymore. I don't care if I have any more Mattel WWE stuff. I don't care if she's in 7-inch scale. And honestly, she scales in 6-inch stuff. She's short enough. It doesn't really fucking matter to me. She can be a little bit almost the same height as Spider-Man. I don't care. So I got a Rhea Ripley figure. So I'll have to film that video after I finish this because I want to get her out of the box. So I did order a Rhea Ripley figure. Speaking of muscle mommies. Sorry, I'm gonna burp again. It happens. It happens. If you watch my blooper video, there was a big burp in that. I was so disappointed. There's no Hawkwoman among those Superman figures. Oh boy, that Superman figure. He's so wide, like he's like this. He's got a big old, and that's because Todd loves his heroic proportions, even on realistic people. I'll bring up which one it is. I'll bring her up in a second. Oh, you're heading out? You're heading out, stop motion guy? We will see you later. See you in the next one. Have a good night. Only got about 20 minutes left here, so not too much long left, but I hope you have a good night. But I do really like, and also the thing about these hands is you can't use these hands on the other She-Hulk either unless you painted them and color match the green. I'm really hoping that I'm wrong about the color and that it matches. But the gloves you can only use on the She-Hulk. All right, let me pull up the Rhea Ripley figure that I got because it's like the only one, and it's sold out on Big Bad Toy Store as well. But it's the only one that they have listed on there, so I'm pretty sure it's the most recent one. And if anyone is a wrestling fan, let me know if this is the most recent Rhea Ripley figure. I know the white one comes with more, but this is still like the big articulation, like multiple articulation points. I know there's like a cheaper line that has like just a hinge at the hip instead of a ball joint and stuff, and they have like no shoulders, shoulder ball pegs and stuff like that. So I got her for more than retail because she sold out like everywhere. But I needed a Rhea Ripley figure. I needed a mommy figure. And the video will be fun. The pictures will be fun. I don't know what I'm going to have her doing. Maybe fighting some supervillains or something. Because I'm pretty sure she's a face right now, right? She's a baby face right now, which is cool. I like her better as a heel, but it doesn't matter. She's over whether she's a face or a heel, which is great. She's just one of those wrestlers that it's like, we're just cheering for Rhea Ripley. We don't care if she's a good guy. We don't care if she's a bad guy. We're going to cheer for this bitch. And I get it. I do. And their WrestleMania match was pretty good. I'm surprised it was the opener for night 2 instead of being a later match. But I'm very, very excited to finally have a Rhea Ripley figure. All right, you said about the McFarlane suit, man. Pose her with She-Hulk. Yes, absolutely. I will do a picture of them together. I wish it was the Fantastic Four She-Hulk, but I want her now. I want her now. I was gonna look up the McFarlane Superman. What is the Superman movie called? Is it just Superman? I forget. I want to find the one from the movie. What is it called? Someone tell me what the new Superman movie is called. It's just Superman. Superman movie. Is it called Superman movie? Oh, that's cool. I probably could have gotten her. You know, actually, I probably got her for the price because I looked at the box where I ordered it from. I think I got it from eBay, and it was Ringside Collectibles. It is just Superman. Okay, that's what I thought. Is this it? Is this the broad motherfucker? No, that's Christopher Reeve. That's the Christopher Reeve one. Where? All right, give me a second to find it. Because I want to show you what I mean by how broad he is. He's like Superman 2025 McFarlane movie figure. Ow, I got makeup in my eye. Ouch. Ow. That hurts. That hurts my eye. Oh yeah. They're like not even on the homepage anymore. I found them. I found the pieces of shit. Let's see here. On McFarlane Toy Store. I found the garbage. Go figure. Go figure. Alright, so you see how broad he is? See how fucking wide Superman is? He's so fucking wide. Like David Cornsweet. All right, I'm gonna pull up a picture of him. So give me a second. Give me a second. David Cornsweet. Is it Cornsweet or Cornsweet? I don't know how to say his name. He's not that fucking wide. He's a big dude. But the man is not. He doesn't look like that. Like he's not that wide. So if you know what I'm saying, like let me go back here. Can I pause this shit? Yeah, I can pause this. I didn't even know it was a video I was bringing up on Instagram. I thought it was just a picture. But like, pause here. Nope. Hey now. Stop it. Pause. Freeze frame. Okay. So you see, he's not. He's big, but he's not. Shit. Where did it go? Shit. Okay. Now I'm having all kinds of trouble, y'all. This is pissing me off. I'm trying to show y'all what I was saying. And now it won't let me zoom in. But you can see it there. That dude is so broad. He's like this. And then you go back to David Cornsweet and he's like not like that. So that's just the proportions that McFarlane, and you know what those are called? I'll give you a little history lesson. So in comic book art, when there's a scaling thing and proportion thing called heroic scale. And it's about how heroes should stand a certain amount of heads tall and a certain amount of heads wide. So it's like 6 heads tall, 4 heads wide, something like that. And that's fine for comic book drawings. Now, every single McFarlane DC Multiverse figure, surprisingly, except for Joker and that Commissioner Gordon that Alfred that they just released recently, which have kind of normal proportions other than being extremely long-limbed. They're all in heroic proportions. And that is one of the main problems I have with fucking McFarlane scaling. Because every single dude in that fucking line is the same square body, humongous like triangle build, just like built like this, coming down to diapers, and just it's fucking ridiculous that they all look that. Yeah, and you know, Todd drew a lot for Marvel. He drew Spider-Man, and he should know better because when he drew Spider-Man, he did not use heroic proportions. He made Spider-Man really like coiled up and like exaggerated and like doing all kinds of crazy stuff. You know, I better be careful. Thanks for the censor, Carl. So you know, when Todd is making this Superman realistic movie version of the figure, it's still in his heroic proportion scale because that's all he does. When he pictures a superhero, a male superhero, he wants them to be built like this. Or they all need to be super squared up and triangle shaped and have a super barreled chest and super big pecs and just look ridiculously roided up, you know, because that's what superheroes look like. It's another reason and I cannot believe that they're letting him just continue doing this shit. If it was me, I would be like, you know what? We're just gonna nullify our contract before this movie comes out so that we can actually have some good figures out for the launch of our but I'm sure they'll do a Mofex. I'm sure they'll do a Mezco. I'm sure they'll do a like Max, tell me I'm right. Tell me I'm not wrong with what I'm talking about here. You draw, you're an artist. You know, I know a little bit about comic book style and the way that people draw shit. You know, it does look like buns, but we can also say fucking ass. Like we're live. It's fine. We're way past way past 30 minutes. We're getting a hot toy. Exactly. So, you know, there's other options out there, but this is, and the other thing here, see, Max got my back. The other thing here is like, this is the movie figure. This is their deluxe line. And I'm assuming this figure is like what, $30? So you're telling me, Todd, that in the 7-inch scale, you couldn't give Crypto a neck peg and at least 4 POA for his fucking legs? You couldn't even do that. Instead, you gave us a statue with a wired cape. No, it's not a statue. It's a posed figure. You fucking asshole. I can't believe this shit sold out. Well, it's not sold out on McFarlane Toy Store. And then, this fucking thing, this fucking kaiju. Yeah, all of his figures have skipped leg day. And that's, you know, that's another comic book thing. Just make them very, very top heavy and just don't worry about the legs. And that's not everybody, but you know, Bruce Timm made it look good when he drew shit. That's how he draws stuff. He draws them super triangular upper torso and then very slim, very tiny legs, but he still proportions everything out to look okay. Todd is just like, no, if it works for my comic Batman fit, which it doesn't work for that, Todd. It doesn't work for anything. Sorry. I get so fucking mad that I get so mad that he had this license for as long as he did. Yeah, it's fucking Todd. It's fucking Todd. It skips leg day. You know who else skips leg day? I don't think Brock Lesnar works his legs, because every time I've seen that man, he always has chicken legs. Not that I'd pick a fight with Brock Lesnar, but I would definitely be like, let's leg wrestle. I can choke your legs out. I got some big thighs. I wonder what his team of sculptors and designers is like, though. He has the final say. You know, I know he's too busy to do this, but based on how every single sculpt that I've seen for McFarlane, this is another thing that fucking pisses me off. Every single sculpt that I've seen for McFarlane, pre-release, this is the sculpt, the render for the figure, does not have any articulation built into the render whatsoever. There's no cuts. There's no indication. There's no reference to where or how articulation will be implemented. Todd just has them pose up, or he himself gives them an idea of what he wants it to look like. And then he's like, okay, now you put in the shitty butterfly joints that aren't actually butterfly joints. They're just little cups. And you stick those arms in there and you give him a fucking diaper because the crotch doesn't even matter. It's just it's under there anyway. So that's how McFarlane sculpts his shit. He sculpts it as a statue. This kaiju fucking thing, my God. Now, I'm not going to hate on the design of the creature from the movie, but you could have sculpted this thing to have its mouth open and its teeth out, but you know what? That would require more paint apps. So I'm sure he wanted to sculpt it looking all derpy and fucking stupid because it was easier that way for the paint app department. So that's why he did that. And not only that, this thing is like, I want to say it's about this big. About this big? 1 articulation point, 2 articulation point at the waist, 3 articulation points. I don't think you can move the head. I think this thing has 3 points of articulation. And it's a what? $35 mega fig? Get the fuck out of here. What the fuck here? I need to hold on. I need to let some steam out.
What the fuck? What the fuck? You're relieved you don't have to go to work because you thought you were going to get eaten? What the fuck is this world? What have they done to us? What did they do to us?
That was the most consequential day of my life because now I know I don't like my work.
La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. It's baby time. 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 Baby time. Baby, you're the best. You're not like all the rest. It will be so much fun when you're the chosen one. No matter what you do, I will be proud of you. Even if you receive a liberal arts degree. Baby time. It's baby time. Wait, I wasn't finished.
Sorry, I needed a break. It's baby time. I credit them at the end, but that I'm sorry. That Revenge of the Sith edit is so if you don't know of this YouTube channel and you have nothing better to do after this, I know there's a bunch of live streams happening. What's up, Allison? You just missed baby time. I know, I'm sorry, Max. I'm telling you where to go see the rest of it. And like I said, I'll credit them at the end. But so there's this YouTube channel called Oronauts, and they did the prequel trilogy first, and they're fucking so funny. It's just a redub of the Star Wars movies. I think they may have done the original trilogy as well. So it's like a 30-minute condensed version, and they just completely changed how the story goes. It's so funny. There's another clip at the end on the outro that I'll show, that's scheduled to show, that's super fucking funny. I smoked way too much of this. I smoked way too much. 420 a week got me like, oh yeah, so I'm not the type of person to do this. Like I did it out of desperation, and I did it because all signs were pointing to it was the right thing to do. So I'm going to go work with my girlfriend. It's going to be in the mornings. It's going to be like from 2:30 a.m. to like 8 a.m. So I'm going to change my schedule. I'll still be doing the live streaming. I'll still be doing my YouTube videos and all that stuff. But my schedule's going to change. And I was at this job, and it started out okay. I was getting decent pay. The hours were fine. And then the store coach left, and I was hoping I would get the job because A, I have experience in management. B, I'm the oldest person there. C, I was always on time, always working hard, getting everyone out on time, doing all that stuff, and being told I did a good job by the district manager, not my boss, the boss's boss. Like, hey, you're always here. You do a great job, blah, blah. Next thing I know, he's trying to promote this girl that's like, hasn't had a working car for a week. She called out before that. She's already told him she was looking for another job, and she didn't want it. So, I was like, all right, so this is my sign that I need to get a new job. So I called the place, I put in an application, and, they said, hey, yeah, orientation's Tuesday. So what I was going to do was go in. I worked Monday, I closed. So I worked, 4 to 10. And Tuesday I was supposed to open, or not open, I was supposed to go in 11. And I called out because I pulled my back that night. I was hurting. And I was like, all right, I don't call out. So I'm just going to call out and see how I feel. Now, Wednesday when I woke up at 8:30, and I was supposed to be there at 8:30. And I just rolled over and went back to bed. And that was just my sign that I didn't need to go back there. So I just kind of texted them and said, hey, I'm sorry, I'm not coming back. I'm starting a new job next week. And that's the first time I've done that. No worries, Max. Tell her we all said hi. So yeah, I just kind of up and quit that job. And I'd never done that before, but I felt really underappreciated. And I'm going to be making like $7 more. The hours are better. I'll get to see my partner all the time, so that's a win. Our schedules were so different. That being said, I may have to move my live streams up like an hour or two, but I'll figure that out. That won't be till the week after next. I got to go for a week and get my schedule all set and see how everything goes and do all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's going to be a little hectic is what I'm trying to get at. The time of videos and live streams may change. I may schedule it for earlier in the day, later in the day. I may just like get up at like say 10:30 and do my live stream as opposed to doing it at 8, just because I have to be up at like midnight to get ready or 1 o'clock to be ready. It is what it is. We will figure it out. We got a couple more minutes here. Is there anything else? I wanted to talk about? That was big toy news. There's been a lot of like releases the last couple of weeks or announcements or anything. So what is this? New Moff-X and Superman Black Panther figures. Is this a brand new Superman? It's a little late for Henry Cavill's Superman, isn't it? It looks good though, but proportions. Talk about proportions there. Those are much more realistic. Look how average sized, not average, but look how normal sized his chest is. And because this is based on a real person. Of course, this is Moff-X, which is A, better quality, B, much more expensive. But that's not an excuse for McFarlane to make wonky looking people. But we won't have that problem for very much longer, hopefully. At least we know that Mattel can make normally proportioned people. So when they make like the movie figures, they have their wrestling line as reference. If you need to take a break will understand. And yeah, I may have to at some point just to get my sleep schedule. I don't want to, especially because of the momentum of, you know, the channel right now going forward and all that stuff. It's okay, Fallout fan. We're wrapping up here in 5 minutes. We got 5 more minutes. So you can dip out early. I give you permission. So this Superman definitely looks cool. I like that he comes with an eye blast. You know, that's the one thing that my Moth-X Homelander was missing, was like he has the laser eyes, but he doesn't have like a laser effect. So I need to look up and see if I can find one for Homelander. I know the Figma one had it, but the Figma one is like way smaller. So, I mean, those face portraits are pretty good. Maybe not so much the smiling one. Like that maybe looks like a realistic Sterling Archer as opposed to Henry Cavill right there. But this one right here, I think with the like kind of stern face and the no smile lines, that really captures Henry Cavill. And so does this one with the teeth out open gridded. This one too. But yeah, this smiling one does not so much. Yeah, maybe it looks like he's taking a super shit on this one, Carl. He's like really stressed in there. But this one just doesn't have the likeness. Like this, I think you could take this head off of it and put it on like a suited guy and be like, "Hey Lana, it's me, Archer." That was a terrible Archer impression. And then it comes with Batman's mask. And I'm assuming that's magnetic. If it's just like that, I don't know. Could be wrong. And then the Moth-X figure that nobody needed. No hate on the movie itself. I like Wakanda Forever. Is anyone gonna pre-order this Siri Black Panther figure? No. Now, did Moth-X make an arrangement to make this figure, or did Disney tell them they had to make it? I don't know. But with Moth-X, they come at least like 3 years afterwards anyway. So I don't know. I mean, at least the head sculpt, I think her name is Letitia, right? Said a lot of stupid shit, and people told her to shut up, rightfully so. So I don't particularly like her, because even though you shut up, it doesn't mean that you're a better person. So not really my cup of tea when it comes to figures, and these, not really that great on the accessories either. So definitely both things I can pass on. I don't particularly need any DC stuff right now. I want to wait for Mattel and see what they're in the kitchen cooking. Whoa. Revenge of the Sith, General Grievous, SH Figuarts. As cool as it looks, will it be able to stand? Because ooh, that's cool. Every single Grievous that I've seen, including the Hot Toys one, are not able to stand. So, like, I don't know how they're going to reinforce these joints to make it so that motherfucker can stand up on those tiny little ankles that are inverted and not completely topple over. But we'll see. I'm not going to get it because I don't need SHF Star Wars. I have so much Black Series Star Wars, and that's where I'm going to keep my shit focused when it comes to Star Wars. But he definitely looks cool. General Kenobi. Yeah, I love Grievous. He's great, especially in the Clone Wars. All right, y'all. You know what time it is. It's time for whoever's not a channel member to make sure they become a channel. I'm just kidding. But we are going to end this live stream here in a second. When River was a kid, he called him Generally Grievous. Yeah, he is Generally Grievous. I wouldn't. Hello there. General Kenobi. Now you got me doing, well, that's Revenge of the Sith. So it's literally 20 years ago, my butt was in the theater watching Revenge of the Sith. So you know what? All the Star Wars shit, it's good. It's good that we wrapped it up with General Grievous here. Because it's Revenge of the Sith's 20th birthday. Can't quite drink yet, but it's almost there. But all that being said, y'all, like I said, channel memberships, 99 cents a month. Lots of extra stuff already. There's going to be more. Just stay tuned. I have merch. I'm not wearing my shirt today, but I just got a super cute tank top in that has the Super Rowdy on it. So if you want channel merch, that's also on my YouTube page. It's all linked together. please, I don't ask this often enough, but if you don't, what's up, Abby? I'm just about to wrap up here. I know other people are about to hop on, so I don't want to step on their toes, but check out Figure Fight Club. I know a bunch of y'all have already gone over there and subscribed, and we both appreciate that. But if you haven't, please go check out his channel. I'm usually there every Tuesday. But yeah, channel memberships, giveaways. We're hitting subscribers. We're going, but we're not to 3,500 yet. Once we get to 3,500, we're going to give away the retro card Venom. So tell your friends, share my channel. I was going to plug myself on Instagram. So follow me on Instagram because I only have this is a scam. I have 3,330 something subscribers on YouTube, and I have 390 on Instagram. So it's a little off. So I know some of y'all out there are rewatching this on the replay. You don't know I have an Instagram. But if you want to talk to me, it's right here. You can message me. I'll reply generally as long as it's not something weird or rude. So let's get that growing too. I want to get my Instagram more people following. Just because I like my photography, I want to improve. So if more people are watching it, I think I'll have more pressure to do better. And Jeff, we all hope that you do better because we all appreciate you very much and you're a good dude. And we don't want anyone to be doing better. Or feeling like they could do better. We want everyone to be feeling at their best. So we all wish you well and that the better comes. All right. So I'm going to wrap up here. I'm losing my voice. I'm going to close this out. Like, subscribe, comment, please. Oh yeah. Like the video. I don't ever ask while I'm live streaming because I forget. Smash like. Replay squad, smash like. Replay squad, comment. I love you just as much as everyone watching right now. Hold on, I have that in my hands. So there's a heart for all y'all, Replay Squad, and everyone watching right now. So, all right, I'm gonna end the stream. Stick around for the little thing at the end. Please don't skip that. I love you. I'll see you next time. Go check out other people's streams, and bye-bye.
I don't know what this is about, but if this is what sobriety is like, I'm going to smoke a big fat sack of crack.
Well, while you're relapsing, I'm gonna make money. I'm gonna have a better pad than you. I'll have job security.
Anakin, man! Since when did you become a total sellout?
I'll be the best dancer, too.
Oh, I see. If it's a dance fight you want, a dance fight you'll get.